Okay, so I have been at Turama tonight, which is it's a kind of a festival of lights here in Auckland City, right in the middle of the city, and I thought it was a good opportunity to riff a little bit on a topic relating to Qigong. So I'm going to talk a little bit about fire and water and some common misconceptions that exist out there in the world of Qigong. So that's going to be the topic of this episode of Qi Life. So first I'll tell you a little bit about the festival, and then I'm going to have some footage from that cut in here. So there were a range of lighting displays, as you'd expect with a festival of light, but a variety of different displays, things from just lights shining on the trees and things like that. Then there were some projection type artworks, and there were some performance artworks with dancers and people performing. And there were some interesting interactive pieces where by doing things you could make things happen. You could change the shape of what was happening, you could make things light up and things like that. So a few different things like that. And then of course there was music, and there was food stalls, things like that. So it was a little bit of a fun, something different to go and see, and definitely very much with a sort of an arts perspective rather than just lots and lots of lights. So okay, on to the Qigong topic. So overall there was quite a lot of diversity in the different installations and artworks and performances, but one thing there was a little bit of a theme of was a theme of fire. There were several that were based around fire, which makes a lot of sense for a festival of light. And this made me think, I was thinking about what's a Qigong topic that I could talk about for this one. And it made me think about a common misconception there is, particularly nowadays around Qigong. And this is that often people, when they're practicing Qigong, they focus very much on water. Water, water, water. Lots and lots of watery practice. In a similar way, fire and water, yin and yang. Fire and water are also are often used as analogues for yin and yang. And people focus yin, 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 yin. Often almost to the exclusion of yang. And amongst some people there's not a lot of respect for yang. I've seen some people even look at yin and yang almost as if it was a moral thing, like yin is good and yang is bad sort of thing, which of course is complete rubbish and absolutely ridiculous. We need both yin and yang. We need both fire and water. And if you're looking broader than just yin-yang concepts into the concept of the five elements, we need a balance and a harmony of all of the five elements. And focusing on one to the exclusion of the others really isn't helpful. So where has this kind of misconception come from? I think there are a few places. So one is that when some of these sort of teachings, some of these practices have been transmitted to the West, sometimes they have been transmitted, in a superficial way or incompletely. And maybe what has been taught is just what someone needed at the time. And if there was someone who had excessive yang and they needed more yin, they were taught yin, because that's what they needed. And as a result of this, sometimes what has happened is one person has been taught at a surface level without going deeper, and then they've gone on to teach someone else thinking that what they knew was it. And then maybe that person's gone on to teach someone else as well, and this has led to some of these ideas becoming entrenched and quite commonplace. And sometimes, I think it has been common that, people have had too much yang and they've needed yin, and this is what they've looked to for Qigong. But this is not universally true. There are people who have too much yin and they need more yang, or they have too much water and they need more fire as a way to balance that. But in order to understand that, you need to have a more comprehensive understanding of the art and of the practices and the principles that underlie them. Fortunately, I think this is starting to change, because the quality and depth of Qigong teaching and understanding that is becoming available now as Qigong becomes more popular and there are more people out there teaching. It's growing. It's growing in quality. It's getting better, and people are learning more comprehensively. And so, little by little, we're dispelling some of these common myths, and we are starting to see a more complete view and application of Qigong practice into our lives. So anyway, it was a fun little different event to go to. You know, nice thing to look around on a winter's night. Pretty rough for a winter's night, eh? Not bad weather. And you know, a few little thoughts relating to Qigong as part of that as well. Anyway, if you enjoyed the vlog, if you find it interesting to think about Qigong topics, maybe you'd like to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that sort of thing. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one.